This woman killed her boyfriend by suffocating him in a suitcase, and whatever you do, don't look up the video. This case involves 42-year-old TikToker Sarah Boone and her then boyfriend George Torres Jr., where her boyfriend was stuck in a suitcase after a drunk night. On February 24th, 2020, the next morning, Sarah called 911 to report that her boyfriend was dead. Sarah claimed to have nothing to do with the death, and George got drunk on wine the night before and thought it was a good idea to play hide and seek, and during their game, George hid in the suitcase as she zipped it up. According to Sarah, in her drunken state, she completely forgot about George and the game and went upstairs and fell asleep. This left George in the death trap suitcase, where he sadly succumbed to suffocation and died in the suitcase. When Sarah woke up the next morning, she couldn't find George, and after a quick look around, she vaguely remembered the game. She then opened the suitcase and found George's dead body. This, of course, is how Sarah tells the story. But after a deeper investigation, the story of what actually happened unfolded. George had a history of domestic violence, and Sarah had reported it several times. And each time, Sarah either dropped the charges or bailed him out herself. It was a toxic love-hate relationship. The story that Sarah fed the police had so many flaws, and the police investigated more. And what they found only confirmed their suspicions. Because believe it or not, Sarah wasn't even arrested the day she reported George's death. And she only saw it as a drunken mistake and didn't think she would be accountable for it at all. But around the same time, this TikTok video went viral, and thousands of people thought it was just a prank on her boyfriend. But actually, it was torture for George inside and his last terrifying moments of life. The TikTok belonged to Sarah, and the police found the footage of George asking, or rather begging, to be let out of the suitcase, while Sarah sat back saying, "For everything you've done to me." Police then asked Sarah to come down to the station for a few questions, and this is where they searched her phone and found the footage that Sarah claims she didn't remember taking. So they showed her the video. The video was already damning evidence, and after, they told her they have footage of her flipping the suitcase over with George still inside, begging to be left out. Sarah then defended herself, saying she wasn't malicious, but the video shows her saying "F you" to George, and the police told her that saying that and laughing in the video is malicious. At one point in the video, George says he can't breathe, as Sarah replies, "I can't breathe when you cheat on me." At this point, Sarah is deep in a hole, and she continues to blame it on the wine, but the police say one bottle of wine shouldn't get you that drunk. Sarah then claims that she wasn't drunk, and her story then falls apart more and more. Sarah would eventually be charged with second-degree murder after trying to wiggle out of it with her awful story. I'm going to say it again, I don't recommend watching the video because it really is unsettling and gut-turning. It's so disturbing watching the video with him in the suitcase telling her he can't breathe and her just laughing about it. You can literally hear the air leaving George's body every time he talks. It's just so sad, and it definitely wasn't a good way to die. So whatever you do, don't watch or search up the video.